What better time to review Christmas yarn than July? Really? Christmas in July? Okay, so I'm here today to review this off-brand Christmas Classics Tidings and Twists yarn. Now, I bought this on the Knitting Network. They have it available in a few colours. It doesn't specifically say where it's from. I can't tell if this is a Knitting Network's own brand. I didn't know they did that, if they do, or if this is another brand, because it doesn't seem to have any sort of like mother company. It says made under license in Turkey, and you don't seem to buy this yarn anywhere. And this label, have you ever seen like decorations for solstice, Christmas and that come with this? It's very hard to see in this lighting, but it's almost like it's an artificial white frosted tree with baubles on it. You often see this on decorations, so it's kind of a common label, which makes me think, was this a yarn specifically made for this, or has this label just been slapped onto another yarn? I can't find anything really about this yarn online, so let me know if you've seen it anywhere. If you know anything about this, I'd love to know where it's from, anything about it, because I'm slightly confused here. Anyway, it's a DK weight yarn, 100 gram ball. It's 360 meters or 394 yards per ball. It recommends 4mm needles or a hook size. Normally with DK weight yarns it says like 4 to 5mm. This one just straight up says 4. It's machine washable on 30 degrees. Do not iron, do not tumble dry, do not bleach. It has the tension graph on the back. Not sure if the camera's going to focus in the light though, but yeah, and it's in the colour number 2, Mistletoe Magic. See if we can get it to focus. Yes, Mistletoe Magic. I bought this yarn thinking it was kind of a different colour than it is. It looks very different on the website, and I assume that that is the same for the other colours in the series. When you look online, it actually looks more like it does in this darker lighting. It looks like greens and reds, and the demonstrative picture showed it as kind of like a thick banding stripe, but it doesn't knit up like that at all, and I assume it will be similar with crochet. I have done a knitting swatch of that, and I'll show you that in a minute, and I'll do a demonstration with crochet just to show you how it crochets up, what it's like. I haven't crocheted with it yet myself, but I have knitted with it, so I'm excited for that. I haven't found any splitting with the knitting, but I'm kind of expecting to find it with the crochet. If I had to describe this yarn, it's very much like any other budget DK weight yarn. It's very similar to like the Spectrum DK, a little bit like Papacha, probably not as good quality. I would say it's not quite on the same level as Lion Brand, Stylecraft. It's more like paint box or a little bit cheaper quality. That being said, when you knit it up, it definitely looks a bit nicer than some of the paint box yarns. There's a lot less texture in it, which I like. But I'm not really happy with this yarn, and I have a few conspiracies about what it is. Like, I don't think that this yarn was meant to be a Christmas yarn, if that makes sense. I don't know. You let me know in the comments below. Do you think that's Christmassy? Do you think it's festive at all? Because I don't. I've knitted this scarf to this point, just a simple stockinette with a garter border, just to show you the colour striping. Now, my first impression was, and still remains, is this is not very festive. This doesn't make me think of Christmas or mistletoe kisses. I guess the green and the cream here together, that's mistletoe colours, but I was expecting this pink to be a little bit redder. On the website, the sort of descriptive images show it as a thicker banding, slightly more concise, where it comes across as more speckled here. It definitely has those little areas where there's just a couple of stitches that are a different colour, and then it goes back into the next one or the previous one. There is a straight band occasionally in some of them, but the blocks are quite uneven. You can see here all of the different colours in a row. I'm not personally sold on this being a Christmas yarn, and if I had to say, I'd guess, and this is just my own conspiracy, that this yarn was part of a different series and they changed the label, perhaps because they couldn't sell it or because it didn't fit or something. But for me, if I was designing a Christmas yarn, I wouldn't come up with this, because these colours, yeah, but they're more of a springtime colour. The dark purple makes me think more of autumn and winter, but the way it's sort of put together, it's not very festive at all. Like, I wouldn't look at this scarf and think Christmas scarf, festive scarf, solstice scarf, even a winter scarf. Especially not at this weight. It's DK weight, it is quite light. If you look at it, it's kind of see-through in that way. It's a very lightweight yarn. I'm just not sold on the whole festive Christmas type of vibe with this. And if we look at the ball here again, You see, it looks like a much deeper brilliant red, but it's not. It's definitely a pink, and when it's knitted up with the other colours away from the cream and the green, it completely takes away the festive Christmassy aspect to it. So I don't know, let me know what you think. Do you think Mistletoe Kisses, do you think this is like festive, Christmas, wintry enough, or are you not sold on it? Knitting with this yarn is actually quite pleasant. It knits up really well and there's very little or no shedding. I say that, but I mean very little or no noticeable shedding, like there's nothing flying through the air. My computer keyboard isn't covered in bits. I also knitted with 5.5mm needles, and I think that's perfectly fine. This yarn recommends 4 to 5, I believe, but I chose to go bigger just to make it flowier and to make the knitting speed, well, just to increase the knitting speed of it really. I'm quite happy with it. I like the way it knits up, I like how soft it is, I like how comfortable it is. There was only one snag in this, and that's probably a good 12 inches of knitting here, and there was only one incident of snagging and splitting, and that was more my fault than anything else. That being said, it's a very easy and comfortable yarn to knit with, and for the price it is very good. So I'm going to do the crochet demonstration now with this yarn. I'm hoping it crochets up nicely because it knits very nicely. Easy to find the end. I'm just going to do a couple of rows in different colours because I am planning to use the rest of this yarn to knit with. Let's have a little up close look at the, sorry about my broken nail, have a close up look at the yarn. With DK weight yarn it's often very easy to tell the quality of it, and most of them are honestly the same, so if you've tried one you've probably tried most of them. So I'm just going to do some chains. I'm using a 4.5mm hook because I like to crochet DK the most with 4.5mm or sometimes 5. I don't tend to go down as low as 4. I find crochet stitches can be very rigid, so it works best if I personally do them with a slightly larger hook. Here we go. It's crocheting quite comfortably. The yarn has a nice texture that's holding, it doesn't make it feel slippery. So if you're worried about slippery yarns, this is a good option for you. And I'm sorry if you can hear my computer, by the way. The fans are turned off, but I think it's the heat, it's bothering it and it's making a whooshing noise. Just doing this row of single crochets. At the moment I'm on a bit of a kick for these festive yarns. I don't actually celebrate Christmas, I celebrate the winter solstice, and I'm really enjoying these yarns. I want to make some festive things this year, and I'm kind of looking for that right type of yarn. I'm going to chain 2 and do a half double crochet just to see what things work out like. I'm looking for some fun yarns, and I'm kind of disappointed that this isn't like what I wanted it to be. It's not that I don't like it or anything, I do, but it's not very festive at all. Like if I looked at this and someone wearing it in December, I'd think they could wear that in April or in September. It just doesn't give that festive vibe to me. Let me know if it does to you. I'm not finding any splitting with the yarn yet. It has like a good density, and it has this texture. It's grippy, but it's also like, you know when sometimes yarns have been treated so they're not slippery, it feels like that. I don't think it has been. I think it is just the way it's been dyed and that it is a cheaper acrylic. But it's very nice because it's not splitting or separating. I find that infuriating. I hate knitting and crocheting with yarns that keep splitting. This isn't one of them, so that's good. There are other colours in this thing, and again that's why my conspiracy stands, because they don't look festive at all. That's why I really think they've put a label on it. I'm going to do some doubles. I really think they have stuck a label on a yarn they couldn't sell, or one off of a, maybe they made a series of yarn and couldn't fit it into something, or it just didn't work. I'm going to actually do some triple crochets, not doubles. I think the other colour's like a blue one as well. This was the most like Christmassy one that was available. So if you think this isn't Christmassy, you should check out the other ones, Knitting Network. I mean, it's nice enough. It's actually showing very well on camera, the quality of it. This is definitely a cheaper yarn. If you're looking for a budget yarn, just something more so to make for yourself or make ornaments out of, or perhaps like a tablecloth or something. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this for gifting. I don't think it's the nicest quality for that. At least with crochet, I think the knitting looks nice. I do, I think the knitting comes up quite nicely, but again, if you were going to gift it, I would knit rather than crochet, because I think the crochet kind of doesn't make it look as nice as it is. That being said, it isn't splitting at all. And we'll do some doubles on the next row. Yeah, even when it's going through like a tighter loop, it doesn't feel like it wants to split or snag, and I like that. Anyone who watches my channel regularly will know how much I hate splitty yarn. Just go for some normal doubles. Oh, that's the first split there, but that was also because the ball tugged. So we'll go back because it ran out of string. This would make a decent triangle scarf, and I tell you what this is reminding me of now crocheting with it. It reminds me of the feeling of, not Ferris wheel, what's it called? I'll remember in a minute, no doubt. I made a shawl out of that yarn and now I can't remember. Oh, mandala. The mandala yarns. If you've ever used one of the, I think it's Lion Brand Mandala, then you've used this yarn already, because it's very similar. And in fact the colour is very similar to the colourway Wizard on the mandala yarns. Very similar actually, with these purples. That's what it looks like. It looks nice, doesn't it? It crochets well. I really like the way this crochets, and it doesn't feel like it's curling. It feels like, you can see it's kind of stiff, but in a good way. It's structured, it's strong. This is the kind of yarn that will last. This is something you could wash and it will soften up. I think some of the roughness is from processing, but overall it's decent. There's not too many fuzzies, especially for a cheaper yarn. And the stitches are coming out quite defined. You can see the way the colour's changing on it quite quickly as well, from the plummy colour, the lighter plum to the medium plum, and then to the cooler purple. So I'm really happy with this, honestly. You could definitely use a small hook. I actually recommend using the 4.5 on this. This felt like the right size for it rather than 4. I think you could also go up to a 5. I wouldn't necessarily use bigger on it though. But look, that's nice. It was easy to keep tension. It was comfortable to work with. So yeah, I would give that a good rating, to be honest. And it seems to be holding its shape up well. Some of them don't. When you crochet with them, they're all rumpled like this. But this is quite a nice quality yarn to work with, even if it looks a bit cheaper. So yeah. If you enjoyed my review, please like, comment and subscribe. It's free and it really helps my channel out. I would rate this yarn out of 10, probably like a 5. That's more so for the quality. I'm not happy with the colourway. I don't think it's very Christmassy. I don't think it's a festive yarn. I think if you wanted a natural festive yarn, you should look for one that is very distinctly festive, or just check the reviews first, because this one is obviously an obscure brand. Nobody really seems to know where it's from, which makes me suspect again that it is one of those swapped label type of brands. But I could be wrong, let me know if I am. But I'm not sold on this as a Christmas yarn, and I definitely wouldn't recommend it if you wanted to make yourself like a holiday scarf or something for someone else. Let me have a look at the pearl side. I mean, in garter stitch it actually looks quite nice, but you can see where there's very distinct rigid lines of colour, not the slightly softer gradient that it looked online. That annoyed me. I don't like it when companies try to sell you a product that looks different colour or looks like it patterns differently to how it actually does. That's really disappointing. But yeah, nice colours overall, decent, wintry-ish, but it's more so like an autumn or a spring. Quite lightweight, comfortable yarn. So yeah, Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I hope to see you in the next video.